Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Crown of Thoughts. I'm your host, Double A, for this evening. I got a little light. Don't look as fucking shitty as it did before. No guests. I bug people. I send them messages. Please, my show fucking sucks with just me on it. Come over here and chill with me. I'm lonely. No fucking answers. Some friends. So, it just looked like there was a tornado outside. I didn't know if I was going to make it home. So much rain. So much weirdness. Real dark black sky. Awesome, actually. Pretty black metal. Like in the winter when there's no leaves on the trees. And there's like a fog. Black metal, motherfucker. So it's like, I don't know, man. Just chilling here. Kicking it. Was at work for 12 hours today. The machine wouldn't run. Of course. So I had to fuck with it all day. I got it running, though, right when I left. So it's going to look, when they look at the stats in the computer, it's going to look like the guy that came in after me got it running. Imagine that. Taking the credit. Oh well. Oh well. The only people I need to impress is the mortgage company. I keep backing away and then moving forward, and I wonder if it's fucking with the voice. I still am wondering how I edit the voice. Like when I did the episodes over there. When I did the episodes where it was just like a picture on the screen and there was no video, I could edit the sound pretty well because it was MP3 format. This is MP4. And I don't know enough about technology. You know what I mean? You guys out there might be laughing like, oh, dude, that's so easy to mess with. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't do the technology thing. I still do CDs and vinyl. You know, I like to escape this madness. And look, you get your phone out, right? It's like every day there's like 10 new apps and updates. It's like, bitch, I bought the phone. All right, if it wasn't good enough at the time that I bought it, then it is what it is. Stop bugging me. It's my phone, not yours. And then, oh man, this is what really gets me. All right, every time you do something anymore, you need to create an account. You have to have an account, or we're not going to let you give us money. You know, you should accept that money. You know, pretty much, no matter what. It's a little pop-up on my computer. Right as I talk about that stuff. So like you got your phone and there's all these apps pop up and you're trying to clear them off, and then so you got to make it count. But no, my normal password that's super easy to remember is too weak. So I got to have like a capital letter and a number and a pound sign and a drop of blood from a virgin. And, you know, like a fucking cow's toe and all kinds of stupid shit. It's like, I'm not going to remember it. And then, so for me, I always click on that forgot my password thing because you made me make them so difficult. And then it'll be like, oh, you used the password that you always use for everything. It's like, yeah, it's my password, man. My fucking password. What do you care what it is? That pisses me off so much, man. And today's world is just getting annoying. It's not like, I'm not looking at it like apocalyptic style. I'm just saying it's annoying. It's aggravating, man. Like, you didn't need when I was a kid, man. When I was a kid, you didn't need all these accounts for stupid shit. You didn't need a cell phone. I like to sometimes just leave my cell phone at the house or in my locker at work and try not to even use it much, man. I don't like that stuff, man. I don't like streaming video or streaming audio. I do streaming video because it's like, with movies, it's totally different. Like, because back in the day when you would buy a movie, it's like, how many times are you going to watch that son of a bitch? You just spent like $29.99 on a Blu-ray DVD you're going to watch one time. Might as well have gone to the theater. What's up, Kanga? Kanga walking around, my cat. I love my cat. It's cool. It's better than your cat. I'll tell you that. What was I talking about? How annoying the world is today. Oh, streaming audio, man. And you might be like, oh, you can find every band out there. It's so awesome. Yeah, it is at first. But then here's the thing. Me, the way I listen to music is just insanity. I listen to the fuck out of some music. So I'm on that thing and I want to hear everything. It's like just keeps branching off into this, into that, into that, into this. And there's too much music I can't pick. Every time I pick something, I'm like, there's something better I should be listening to. I know it. I just know I'm not listening to the best thing. And I try to listen to all of it. You ever try to listen to all of it on streaming audio? At least the shit like metal and stuff like that. And like, you know, I don't listen to like hipster music. I actually, when I use the word hipster, it registers as derogatory, like a slang or a you know, like when someone uses a racial slur or something. Hipster to me is like a subcultural slur. I forget that there's people that don't mind being that. I used to see them at the punk rock shows. Like, bitch, once you get in this pit, you're getting a fist to the fucking nose. This ain't a fashion show. Hipsters with your IPAs, nasty, shitty tasting beer. Tastes like pine cones soaked in Robitussin. 9% alcohol. Your head's like, you're at the bar, your head's like, oh, from your IPA. And yeah, it takes like fucking an hour to drink one. An IPA. So if there's anyone out there that's like, you love IPAs, fuck you. I'm just joking. I'm just trying to be belligerent I'm just keeping image for the show. Crown of Thoughts. I'm double A with Crown of Thoughts. And the name of this podcast is because my head always got thoughts spinning and spinning and spinning around it. And I can't get them out. I'll be at work all day thinking about some weird thing and I can't let go of it. If I try, I'll be like, all right, Aaron, all right, stop. Just stop thinking. Then I start fucking going again. I'm going again. Like, stop. If any of you out there, like I've heard some people talk to me that have the same issue and they describe it. And I'm like, that's what it is. That's what it is. So, like a girl at work was describing this. And she's like, I don't know. When I go home, I just think about everything that happened in the day and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Because there's like one gnat. One. It's like Aaron versus the gnat. What was I talking about? So she's like describing this, and actually it was like a antithesis to how I was acting, you know, because she was like, yeah, if someone cusses at you or whatever, it probably just roll right off of you, but I'll think about that stuff all night. She went on to describe the cycle of thoughts that she'd go through, and I'm like, that's exactly what goes on with me. You know, it plagues me. It's a little difficult to deal with sometimes. You know, right now I'm excited because I don't work tomorrow because I got that weird schedule and shit. So I don't know what that has to do with anything. I am excited though. I'm pretty damn excited. So, you know, what's kicking in my life right now? Oh, there's a lot going on, man. So they declined my Visa card because someone stole my identity. Because I handed it to them, they declined it. I'm like, dude, there is a lot of money in there. I'm not bragging or being conceited, but there is. I'm like, there's a lot of money in there, man. What's going on? And so I couldn't buy my shit. And then So I don't have a driver's license. That was suspended, and I never, for whatever reason, never bothered to get that ID that you get when you don't have a license. So my card don't work. I don't have an ID. So the bank's like doesn't know who I am. They're like, you don't exist, man. We can't help you. And so that's where I am, and they're sending me a new card in the mail. So I had to borrow cash off people, like a couple $100. I'm like, I'll hit you up, man. Just give me a big wad of cash till I get my card. I gotta buy everything in cash, you know? Just like the old times, man. I keep talking about how it's so much better back in the day, and then I'm complaining about using cash instead of I'm telling you, it's one net. It's because I'm sweating. I was just at work. I didn't even shower because I'm grimy. Grimy. I'm a scrub. Ish. Not really. Not really. So sometime, like, I'm trying to see is if this is better looking. The last one I had, it was real dark, but I'm trying to figure out how I should position myself and how my voice should go. Because it's like if I move farther back, I'm going to have to talk louder. And if I move closer up, you know what I mean? I'm still getting used to this. I don't even have a legitimate microphone. There's one that's built into the laptop, like the shittiest microphone you could ever imagine. I can't even see it. I don't know where the hell it is. But it records my voice. But it's okay when I do like the standard audio the podcast that I was doing, because on MP3 format I have like a 5-stage recipe for my voice. And it's like it's not too like amazing. It's like, you know, compression limiter, normalized bass and treble boost, some standard stuff. It's not like reverb and echo and stuff. I was saying that before. What am I talking? Oh yeah, but I don't know how to do it with an MP4. Apparently, an MP4 is what video is. Like I said, I'm not a nerd. See, when you don't know something, it's like a defense mechanism, I think. People who wish they knew shit about technology, they call people that do nerds. You know, it's like, yeah, maybe they're smarter than you. Maybe you're a nerd because you can't figure it out. Maybe you collect Spider-Man action figures still in the package. Know what I'm talking about? Well, yeah, I hit a bunch of people up. I'm like, dude, I think I finally got a setup where I could have a guest, like one of them real podcasts that have more than 2 viewers. I got like 2 viewers. You know, it was like when I used to rap, no fans. No fans. Just me tearing shit up. Like punk rock style. Don't give a fuck. And that's how it is right now with this. I started this just to talk to myself. Because my head was just exploding. And I was like, dude, I'm going a little nuts. Like I was feeling a little bit of some weight on me. I had a lot in my mind, and I started talking into this thing, and I felt better. And I was just thinking into it, so I started figuring stuff out, you know? Just figuring stuff out as I go. Like, I play them back, and I'm like, oh, I taught myself something through that, you know? And it's like, it's very helpful to me. And now I'm moving right along here. Know absolutely nothing about technology, and I've got a decent picture. It still looks like it's doing a little bit of the waving stuff, but I'll progress. I kind of think it'd be better if I was back farther. I don't know, because if let's do this, right? If I have a guest on here, right, I'll be like this. So that's very interesting what you just said. Tell me more. You know, and they'll tell me about how they install vinyl siding. It'll be awesome. You'll be like on the edge of your seat. No, I know some people, man. Just standard people that I know, but like I've come to realize it's because of talking to a lot of people, like at work and stuff like that. And I realized I thought everyone had the same situations growing up. You know, you hit a certain age, you get into trouble, you do this, that, and the other thing, you know, and if you don't watch it, you start doing this or that or whatever. I'm not, but I tell my stories from childhood and teen years and early 20s and stuff. People don't do that stuff, really. People don't have these stories. They don't. I'm like some kind of fucking maniac, I guess. It's kind of weird for me. Like I had to take a look at myself after realizing no one's going through these weird things or put themselves through these weird situations. You know? It's not standard for you to start vandalizing stuff when you're 14. I didn't know that. I thought that's what kids did. That's what I did. I didn't even try it, really. It was just I was bored, me and some buddies. So this is one. I was like 14, and me and a couple of my buddies, there was a local school, and they had this like trailer thing for special learning kids to go to. We had one at my school as well, and I went there for math class. Because you have to pay, if you don't pay attention in math, you like miss one day, you have no clue what's going on, and I can't pay attention to anything. My point is, I'm not dumb. I get math. I get it. So yeah, there's that trailer, and we're walking down there, 14 years old, you know, walking by this trailer. One of my buddies had a pair of brass knuckles. I'm like, give me that shit. Let's break in here. Boom! Broke in there. Went around, like, smashed the air conditioning, goofing off style. Left. And it was just like kids being, I know it's not good, and it's kind of a dickish move, but like 14, just, you know, just getting out there and being a little bit devious. Drop my coaster. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. People don't have those stories. You know? People aren't being read their rights on their porch when they're 14 years old. Thought that was standard. Smashing television sets with baseball bats. You know, maybe a more tame person would put a tarp out first so they can collect the parts. We didn't do that. But we did take, because we would get TVs from dumpsters. We would dumpster dive. Yeah, I'm going to admit that to you guys. But you got to understand, I was younger than 14 at this point. We would jump into dumpsters and take the electronics out and walk to the woods and smash them with baseball bats, and it was awesome. We used to make cracker bombs. We used to make CO2 bombs, take a CO2 cartridge, fill it with black powder, plumber's putty on it, cannon fuse. We'd blow everything up. Blew up the bird house at the park. We blew a sign off a building and went the whole way across the parking lot, that kind of stuff. You know, and I'm like, that's not the things that people do. You know, and it makes me think, man. And now that I'm older, it's like, that is a little bit young to be doing stuff like that. Like, I know some people that young, and it's like, I really wouldn't want them to be doing the things I did, but I thought it was standard. I thought it was standard. And then we hit high school. I can't. Look, see, can you guys see this? Is this popping up on your screen? I don't know. Do you guys see like the whole thing, or you just see the? I watched the one that I did. I just forget. I forget it, man. Like, you know, I'll watch it myself and see if I can see that shit. You know, it's cool stuff. You know, but then we hit high school, man. High school was awesome. I loved it, man. And I went to a Christian school, and we had like a dress code and whatnot, and, you know, kind of gay, but what are you going to say, man? The kids there were nice. All my friends were nice. And no, there weren't these like cliques where everyone hated each other. I don't know if that's standard for public school. But we all got along for the most part. Some of us, you know, a couple of us here and there, a little bit weirdo, you know, weird shit, but most of us just got along, and it didn't matter, like, you're this type of person or that type of person. Probably because we had a dress code, you couldn't tell what type of person you are. Because in high school, That's the thing about high school. It's like what you wear is the type of person you are. It's not who you are. It's what you wore. And it's like identity. What you identify with, your identity is basically a fashion. You know, because otherwise you'd just be you. You identify as something. That's like a fashion thing. You know? And that's what, like the high school thing is basically what they're doing now with our country. It's like, oh, we're this race and we're that race. Blah, 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 blah. I identify as this. It's like childish. You identify as whatever, man. That's a fashion thing. That's a thing like when you're out in public, this is whatever you look like or whatever. What about when someone actually talks to you? When someone's actually talking to you? You're just you, man. You're not identifying as... To identify as something is fake. Just in general. What do you want me to say? Like, I identify as a... whatever. Like when I was in high school, I identify as a punk rocker. You know what I mean? Like when I got out of high school, I identify as this, that, a metalhead, a goth, hardcore, this, that, the other thing. It's childish, man. It's childish. So when you are feeling like when people say they're being oppressed because they identify as this, that, or the other thing, it's like, I don't get it, man. I don't fucking, you know, it's like, if I go to a job interview and I got a mohawk, I can't just be like, he's discriminating against mohawk people. And let's say it's dyed blue. And then someone with a red dyed mohawk got the job. What do you, they hate blue mohawked people. It's ridiculous. Like when you put these things into different terms, which I always try to do. When I hear something in some kind of situation, I just try to remove the actual things and put another group of things in, like what do they call that? Oh my God, what do they call that? Like a metaphor or whatever. There's another word for it. I'm not using the right word, but yeah. Insert blank with other things. See if it makes sense. See if what you're talking about even makes sense. You know, I identify as a woman. Okay, good for you. I don't care. I haven't even talked to you yet. That's what you come at me with? You know what I mean? If you ever met someone out on the street, like, what's up, man? I identify as a punk rocker. Like, what's that have to do with anything? I asked you what's up. It's that kind of shit. The childish shit is what we pay the most attention to now. Instead of the individual. The individual is what matters. You know, it's like when you stop seeing individuals and you start seeing groups. What is that? What is that? It's stupid, man. It's stupid. So here I am, man, after work. There's a single gnat attacking me. I got like, I'm doing this so the gnat don't get in here. I'm like, dude, man, it's just one gnat. One gnat. You'd think the gnat would be like, oh, I'm going to stay away from that giant beast of a person that could slap me if I ever stopped flying around. No, he's like coming right at me like he wants to die, you know? I guess the gnat, maybe he lost his job today. He had a bunch of stocks that just went straight down the shitter. His girlfriend Nat left him. Maybe that's what happened, and he is like, man, I bet this dude will fucking slap me on the table, man. Or I could fly into his Busch beer and he'll drink me. I would rather the first. So anyone out there, man, if you want to be a guest on my show, even if you're some kind of boring person, come on, man. Come on the show. I want to know what you have to say, even if it's stupid. And it's not going to be stupid. I'm goofing off a little bit with that, trying to like, blah, 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 you know. But no, I like to hear anything from somebody. You know, like I did make the joke previously about the vinyl siding, but I was legitimately at the bar the one day and I was talking to this older guy and he said he installs vinyl siding. And maybe you hear that and you're like, okay, you know, but me, I'm like, how do you install vinyl siding? Explain this to me. He went through everything about it and it was interesting. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't know how it was done before that conversation. I like it. I like when people, and it is strange that I ask people about their jobs and stuff. Like my one buddy went to the Pine with me, and I kept asking him more and more and more about his job, and he's like, "Are you serious? This is like a boring conversation." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I want to know where do you make the money from? Where's the money come from? And how do you do the blah, 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 blah?" Because I've always worked manufacturing, and I don't understand a job where you don't make something. I make stuff. I've always made shit or provided some kind of service like painted Harley parts, Harley Davidson powder coating stuff. I did that. That's not making something necessarily. I've always been manufacturing, man. Except the one time I had enough of working for the man. I'm like, dude, I'm going to start my own business and it's going to be awesome. I won't have to answer to nobody. I started painting apartment complexes. I started painting them, and I'm like, dude, you know, here we go. No boss, no nothing, just me. And after trying to figure out my taxes as a contractor, and the fact I didn't actually make that much money, I'm like, yeah, let's go back to working for the man, because the man has actually taken care of this stuff that is too complicated for me. Taxes, man, it's like paperwork. Like when I get my mail with this and that and taxes and keeping track of this or that or whatever, I suck at that, man. I suck. I can work like 5 12-hour shifts in a row. I can be a beast at whatever I want to, but when it comes to organizing and doing little details, I'm out of that. I'm out. And then I see someone come up and just blah, blah, blah. They do that shit super fast and it's easy for them. And it's like, I know, like I'm obsessive compulsive, but not in that form, in a different form. I don't wash my hands 10 times a day. I don't organize. You know, I don't like clean with alcohol wipes my whole house and stuff, but I have my own little weirdo stuff I do. But I know a lot of people who with OCD are real good at keeping track of stuff like that, numbers and this, that. And so I envy that. Like I have OCD, but I wish I had the type that made me organized, man. I got the weirdo type. Like I just obsess over things, and I have these rituals that I have to perform. I don't want to give you too much of my life because it's, yeah, no, but I got these things like I do, and if I don't do them, I don't feel right. And I think that's obsessive compulsive. As far as I know, I read a lot of books on psychology. I'm not a psychologist. I went to school for psychology. Right out of high school. I love it. I love the psychology. And then I found out, I dropped out for other reasons, substance abuse. But I found out that it's like, you got to go to like 6 years of schooling and you don't even get paid that much. Like I probably get paid more doing what I do. I ain't never went to, well, I just said I went to school, but I dropped out. I went to college twice. Both times dropped out first semester, man. You know, like the first time I was doing some shit. But the second time, the first time I went for psychology, and I was just a little out there at the time, didn't make it. The second time I went for radiology out of a logic thing. 2 years of school, make tons of money. But if you know anything about radiology, it's kind of like a nurse. So everyone in the class was a chick. And there's a bar right across the street. I'm like, you want to go to the bar? 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 Dropped out. Too much bar. As you can probably guess, I usually went alone, trying to sound a little cooler than what I actually am, you know. But well, yeah, I mean, it's whatever, man. Like, you guys got your life stories, man. That's why I want you on here. You don't want, like, you just gonna listen to my, like, the two viewers I got. You just want to listen to my stories. I got stories. I got lots of stories. Trust me. But I already know them. All right. So you guys don't know all my stories. I got stories to tell. You know. So I can't. It's hard to just like randomly pick one. You know, it's like when someone's like, "What's your favorite band?" What's your favorite band, man? It's like, dude, there's like a billion bands. Like, what's my favorite band? Under what circumstance, compared to what, and what mood, and what genre? You know what I mean? Like, I like some wild shit. I like Bjork. I like fucking Bjork, man. Best voice in the world, man. She's the best vocalist ever. You know, but then I got like Minor Threat. Blue collar, hardcore shit. You know, I like all types of music, man. All types. Death metal. I don't like technical death metal. I like the old school shit. Like the band Death. You know, where it's almost thrash metal crossover to death metal. That kind of like 90s death metal. That's how you'd put it. I like that. I like thrash metal, the older stuff. A lot of what I like is a little bit older. I like 90s hardcore, you know. The new stuff, some of it's good. Some of it's just too much. It's just like look how crazy our breakdown is. We just stopped playing for 10 minutes. And then some guy does a little cymbal. And then we hit it. And then everyone starts kicking and punching each other and knocking each other out. That's how hardcore we are. You know, it gets to be a point where it's like, okay, yeah, I get what you're doing. I get what you're saying. But like the stuff I remember seemed a little bit more real. You know, it's like it's about what's more real, man. You know, that's why I like the old stuff, because the newer stuff sounded like a parody of it in a way. Like I was talking. I was talking to my buddy at work about this. He's a little older than me. And what he calls hardcore ain't what I called hardcore. When he says hardcore, he's talking about circle jerks and you know, those bands back then. Maybe even like Minor Threat and stuff like that. But some of the bands he named, I'm like, that's not hardcore, that's punk rock. You know, so it used to be different. And then I talk about my 90s bands. You know, like Snapcase and Earth Crisis and you know, that 90s stuff. And he's like, I guess that's what you call hardcore. Like, can't really argue it is hardcore, but it's like the stuff they're coming out with now, it's like metal. Basically metal, you know, with a weird sound to it. I don't know how to describe it. You've heard it, some of you. I really like to alienate my audience, the two people that are fucking watching this. I'll go off on stuff. They have no idea what I'm talking about, man. None whatsoever. You guys don't know what punk rock is. You wouldn't know it if it bit you on the ass. Or maybe you do. I don't know who's watching this or who. It's not live. I'm just sitting here recording it, but you know, and I don't know how to like really doctor my vocals with it. That's the problem I'm facing right now. Because when you watch my episodes that are just audio, I got a good sound on the voice. You know, I got it. How am I going to do this when I got a guest? Am I going to be like all the way back here? Because they're going to have to be like right here if I ever get one. I promise you I have friends. I do. Not just my cat, Kanga. It's a cool cat, though. But, yeah. I was talking about something, man. What was it? Alienating my audience? I guess that's what I was talking about. You know, I can talk about slasher flicks. You guys wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Half of you. The good ones. The classics. You guys would. Oh, speaking of which. So I made the fucker was getting warm. When they get warm, you gotta shot it. Slasher flick. Oh yeah, so I put out I made the documentary about myself in 2 parts. It was gonna be 1 part, but it went to 2 because I've done a ton of music in my life, and none of it really. I did it because I like to do it, but it's not like I ever had like fans or anything like a following. I've had fans, you know, but not many. So I'm not going to go around saying, oh, blah, blah, I had fans. So I was like, dude, you know what? As long as I got something kick-ass that I did throughout that time, I got it. I don't have to be fucking famous. I'm making a VH1 Behind the Music with double A. And I did that. Put the 2 episodes together. It's like 3.5 hours. And anyways, so last time I cut a rap song was like 10 years ago. I did this shit. My homie Cynical. I just sent him the link. I'm like, dude, check this out. Like, you're in it. You know, like the portion that I did with the horrorcore click that we had. Just bam, sent me a beat. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can. Now he sent me like 5 of them now. Guess I'm gonna murder 5 beats. I haven't done that in a while. That's a thing that's happening right now. That's cool. You know, it's an interesting project for me. And I might have figured something out for Animal G-Bong's Hero of the Day broadcast. Slap into a lip roll. That guy, the Bush, he's got me on these Bush beers. You know, it's like, you know. Oh yeah. So he does his shit on Facebook Live, and I'm like, dude, I don't think you can like save this stuff. You know, you really should be doing it on some other format because I don't know how to take Facebook Live and archive it. Because for me, like, talk about the OCD thing. For me, if I can't archive everything I've done, I get weird about it. Gotta have the archives. Gotta be able to go back to it and in order and check it out and stuff. See how you progressed. See how your old episodes are. See what you're about. Because some of mine, the audio ones that I made, I started out bullshitting, being vulgar and belligerent almost, and ended up with some kind of like wise lesson at the end. When I replay them, I'm like, oh my God, like I had something to say. I taught people stuff. If the 2 people that checked it out, man, I bet they walked away like, huh, yeah, that's true, man. That is. So he does his stuff on Facebook Live, and I don't know what to do about that, but I looked it up, and I don't know if this will work. It's an idea, but they have like a screen recorder for your phone. And so that's something I want to try, but I don't know what format that saves in, if you can convert that to a computer or email it. That's how generally with a phone, you email something to your computer and then you stick it on there. I still don't know, like, I do that with pictures, but with MP3s, my friends are telling me they got music on their phone, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that. You know, I just kind of try to get my phone away from me because it always has like 1,000 apps coming up. And the only people that text me are like fucking Verizon wanting money and shit. No, that's not true. But it's like right now, look. Let me see this. Let me see this. Let me see. Nothing. Nothing, nothing. None of my homies. Actually, there was, but I was trying to make a point, and so I just lied to you. You can't trust anything I say now. I'm full of shit. Double A on Crown of Thoughts is a liar. Tell all your friends. Tell them not to watch. That's what I should say. My advertising should be like, don't watch me, ever. People will be tuning in left and right, man. Send out flyers. Don't watch Crown of Thoughts. I'm always about to say Crown of Thorns. Crown of Thorns is a kick-ass hardcore band, and that's why I tend to say that, by the way. Yeah, but tell everyone, do not watch Crown of Thoughts. Double A's a little bitch. And he talks shit on your mom. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Everyone will be watching it. Everyone. So I don't know what I do with this. I made this YouTube channel, and it's kind of just like, for me, it was a way to archive stuff. And I'm like, dude, I can do video. I guess I could do video without YouTube, but I'm like, let's do this. And then, so I'm looking all this information up, and everyone's like, how to make your YouTube channel big. The mistakes people make that keep their channel small. Blah, 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 blah. Make sure you have this type of thing, and make sure you promote it this type of way. I'm like, yo, I have a job. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for fun. It's fun because when I was featured on G Bong's podcast, I had so much fun, and I watched it. Yes, I watched my own shit. I did. A couple times. Like 10. And I was like, yeah, that is really cool and really fun. Now, how do you do it? So that's what I've been doing during this time. Trying to figure out how to do it and trying to cycle out my brain. Because I've learned when I talk about stuff, then I feel freer. And my brain isn't going through the types of things that it was all the time. Like it's going through what it's going through. But when I don't put that out there, it's flooded. I'm swimming. I'm swimming. I get that term from what's that guy's name? He's a friend of my buddy's. He told me that I had a weird mushroom trip, and I had a lot of, I could not explain to you what had happened, but I'll try. So before I ate them, I was laying on my bed, and I'm like, I want to know everything. Feed me all the knowledge. I want to know it all, how the whole world works and everything. And then so I'm looking at this picture, and I'm like, I call my buddy Pat into the room, and I'm like, yo, man, look, are you on board with this? Look at that picture. I could know every single thing there is to know about the guy that made that picture. I just have to stop being me. He's like, all right, buddy, let's go listen to some music. And I came up with this idea in my head. I'm like, if I stopped existing as me, I would know everything. I didn't really know where that came from. And I see it now, what it means, but it was like, and I felt this eerie feeling. It felt like God, pulled this curtain back. Because I said, I want to know everything, right? I felt like God pulled this curtain back and was like, boom! You don't know what you're talking about, bud. I've heard you talk shit for years. And you crossed the line. You want, I'll give you a tiny drop of knowledge that you can't even handle. Blew my fucking mind. I was out of it for days. And his friend, man, I wish I knew that guy's name, but he knew how to handle it, and he knew how to talk to me about it. And he said, just relax, man. You're swimming right now. You're swimming. Just relax and don't think about it for a while. And if you guys don't know, like, what I'm trying to say, like, I didn't know it at the time, but afterwards I realized it, because, like, I feel like I'm gonna get weird on you, but I feel like when you die, you become one with this giant, like Carl Jung would talk about, you know. And I think that's the point I was making. Like, I'd know everything about this guy if I stopped being me, like, because you'd know everything, because you'd be one with God or something like that, you know. And it sounds ridiculous, but when you really think about it, like, how much do you actually know? Like, how much do you even know about your own mind? You know, like 90% of your mind is subconscious. You think you're in control of who you are and what you're doing? Not as much as you think. Not as a lot of what you do on a day-to-day basis is motivated by things below your consciousness. And it's like, I'm not the one spouting off this nonsense. It's like fucking Carl Jung, man. And my homie Alan Watts. I love that guy, Alan Watts, man. Preach it, brother. Alan Watts will, like, just punch your version of reality right in the face. And he'll be like, yo, did you think of it like this? And you'll be like, oh, fuck, I didn't think of it like that. And he's like, yeah, I'm Alan Watts, dude. I did. So there's him. There's a bunch of people I enjoy listening to that help me figure some shit out. Help me figure some stuff out, man. Like, you know, and like Terrence McKenna, everyone heard of him now because of fucking Joe Rogan, but I always knew about that guy. And the thing with him is Terrence McKenna should be a rapper. He'd be the best rapper on the planet. He knows so many concepts he has to actually make up his own words. Because there's not actually words for a lot of the concepts that he comes up with, man. He's got to make up his own words. And you can tell what he means when he makes them up. It's like, dude, there's people that will open your mind up, man. You know, and then there's me. And I was playing my stuff back, and I realized I say fuck like every other word. I'm like, I sound so uneducated. I sound, you know, I swear I have a decent vocabulary. It ain't gotta be, it's not like, it's not what you think. It's not what you think, man. I'm telling you that, man. And so that's, you know, that's what it is, man. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm excited. Got the next 2 days off. What am I going to do that whole time? How cool is it going to be? You know what I mean? How many Busch beers am I going to have? Hopefully not that many. It's starting to occur to me that, like, that stuff like that is bad for your health, man. Did you guys know that? I figured it out, you know. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of an intelligent human being, though. So, like, I put 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, oh, I bet this stuff's bad for you. It's poison. It's technically poison. But it's been around since the beginning of time. It really has, man. Caffeine. Like 90% of the planet has used caffeine. It's the most popular psychotropic drug on the planet. Or stimulant. However you want to put it. However you want to put it. So I'm gonna see how this sounds and how it looks and everything. And I do, like, especially if I'm gonna murder them 5 beats that I've been sent. Like, I need an actual USB mic. I really do. I need a decent one. Well, I don't need a decent one. Anyone, like, as long as you know the programs and have, like, for me, I have a recipe for my voice. As long as you got that, you don't need a decent one. But I'm trying to spit a verse with this thing, and I'm like I'm not enjoying it. You know, it's like, you know, it's a little difficult. I'll get it down. I'm rusty. I ain't done a rap in like 10 years, man. The last music I did was a rock band, Wicked Seed, man. That's the last music I've done. You know, and I like rock bands a lot, man. They're real fun to sing, you know. But it seems like I was real good at spitting them rhymes. I don't know. People like that stuff more than when I was in like the punk rock band, the hardcore band, the grunge metal band, the one bullshit band that didn't do anything. It's actually in a couple of those. It's just they weren't all really noteworthy. Then I spit the rhymes, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this guy's awesome. He's better than sliced bread. Double A, man. He's the coolest." Yeah, right. No one said that shit. Don't know what, man. Like, you know, it's so. What is it? It's Tuesday. This is a Friday for me though because I got this weird schedule. I only work 15 days a month. They're all 12-hour shifts, and I can work my off days if I want. It's just I've been so overworked this past year. I don't want to. I've just been maxing and relaxing. I just worked at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I just did that. Oh, how many of you do a 12-hour shift and still got energy to kick it when you get home? I do. 37 years old. I'm a beast. Yeah. So some shows are coming back around, you know, since I'm seeing shows again, man. I didn't think it'd be ever happen again. Everyone's so tweaked out about this fucking flu. I didn't think we'd be able to have anything again. I thought the whole world would just go to shit. You know, they're trying to make it go to shit, but I seen there's some shows. And I seen around here there's some businesses that just didn't do what they were told to do. Like Pine, my homies the Pine, round the clock. My homies round the clock stood up for themselves. You know, a lot of these businesses just went all pussy on themselves and like abided by the rules. A lot of these people did. I ain't worn hardly a fucking mask this whole time. I didn't really change anything. I just couldn't go to a lot of stores. I did like it's like a hard to explain thing, but there's certain stores that got fucked with. And so I treated them the way they, it's like I don't really like to get into this topic because it pisses so many people off. You can't even speak about it without someone getting mad. I don't like alienating people and stuff. Like, I've got some strong political beliefs, but it's just annoying. Like, you don't need to know what they are. Like, you care. You got your own. It's almost insulting your intelligence half the time when I talk about it. Although, when I go to Animal G-Bong's broadcast, I get to say as much of that as I want. That's what it's all about. You know? He's almost like Alex Jones or some shit. But, so anyway, like, there are a lot of businesses that were hurting. They were just hurting really bad. Some of them went out of business. My personal watering hole, 4Bs, now they weren't doing good anyway. I'm going to admit they probably would have gone out of business eventually. People weren't stopping by no more. I remember that back in the day, that place was hopping before they changed the whole way it works. They tried to make it into like a higher class type style place. And then there weren't as many people because I remember back in the day, I would sing Taco Putting on the Ritz karaoke. That was my song. Every time I did karaoke, Taco Putting on the Ritz. And I would do like the WB frog with my hat, dancing around like that. Months later, someone would be like, "You're the Taco Putting on the Ritz guy." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's me." And I had one of them golf hats, so it worked really well. I used to wear them golf hats. I don't know what they're actually called, man. I used to wear those all the time, though, to be honest with you. But yeah, I did the Taco Putting on the Ritz. Why don't you go where fashion sits, putting on the Ritz? Something, 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 Gary Cooper, super duper. You guys love that song. It's your favorite song. I know it. I know it. You guys are ever in a rock band, that'd be the first one. We want to cover that before writing our own original material. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, man. And so this is my testing. I know the one episode was called The Setup, and it was all dark and whatnot. And the dude posted a comment. He's like, put a lamp up. Pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. So right now I got a lamp up right behind the, the computer here. And so eventually, if I keep doing this, I'm going to get like a split USB mic thing so I can have a guest. They make them. And then I don't know if I'll keep using this recording. If I can get the lighting good, it'd be all right. I know they make cameras and stuff, but I think my 2 listeners can deal with it. I'll see. It's more like what I think about it, because I'm going to archive this shit and probably watch it more than all you guys, because I'm crazy. Like when I made music, I guarantee I listened to that stuff more than anyone, so why not make it how I want to make it? There's a lot of, like when I did the rap, and I said this, like that you can throw a rock and hit 10 fucking rappers on the head, so I might as well make it the way I want, so I can go back and listen to it, you know what I mean? It's what I did with all music, man. It's like, I want to do this shit how I want to do it, man. It's like everything in life, really. I want to do it the way I want to do it. I'm not a big rule person. I always was like against authority and stuff, and not for any particular reason. I just didn't appreciate, because I view it as like, yo, you guys are people. You're just people. I'm a person. Why are your ideas more important than mine? Explain that to me. I got some damn good ideas, man. Why do you get to say how it is, you know? That's kind of how I thought of it growing up. And I understand. I can half answer that question for you. I know there has to be some kind of hierarchy, some kind of order of operations. I get it. But it's like, you know, a lot of it's petty. A lot of this life is petty. A lot of the authority is petty. Authoritarians, these people, they come up with these rules, with these stupid, well, you need to get your car inspected. It's my car, man. You need to get your registration. What the fuck does a registration even do? Tell me. It's my car. I bought it. It's registered. I bought the thing. Call fucking the Honda dealership. You know what I mean? They'll tell you, yeah, he's the one. He bought it. You gotta get it registered. Well, your registration expired. It's not a fucking gallon of milk. My car's not a gallon of milk. Ain't nothing expired. Leave me alone. That type of shit. So there's like, that stuff I think is petty. Why should I if you give me a driver's license, that means you trust me to maintenance my own vehicle. Don't make me get it inspected. What's going to happen? It'll burst into flames? Oh, his inspection's past due. He's going to hurt somebody. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Sure, I'm going to hurt somebody. You know, meanwhile, in the city, there's all kinds of people actually hurting somebody. And you're wasting your time on me. On me. Look at me, man. I'm a law-abiding. I'm a decent. There's worse people than me. I'm not really a law-abiding citizen. I view laws as like suggestions. Like it might be good if you did this. You know, I kind of view it like that, like a suggestion. It's like, all right, I'm not into that one. You know, that type of thing. Like, I don't want to obey that one. What are you gonna do about it? You know, stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of laws that you guys realize, like, there's a lot of laws, if you just don't follow them, no one's gonna do anything. They're just not gonna do anything. Sometimes there's just things that aren't that important. Like, you really think Let's say you're walking down the street, puffing a blunt, drinking a beer. I guarantee you, like, no one's going to do anything. What are they going to do? What can you do? Are you going to call a cop? You know how long it'd take him to get there? By then, you know what I mean? You wouldn't have either of the items. You'd be somewhere else. Think about stuff like that. Like, there's hardly anything they can do about half these laws. And that's just a good example because it's easy to see how it would work like that. You know? And like the one time I got pulled over and my inspection was out like a year and a half. And the cop's like, he's like, oh, how long has that been out? And I'm like, you know, since you guys haven't been able to do your job, the joke's on you. I went a year and a half, man, with that. And honestly, I didn't even know. I had to tell him, like, I don't pay attention to dumb shit, you know? It's a car, it's driving, I don't know. What do you want? What do you want from it? The brakes? You think, this is the big one. Whenever I say you don't need your car inspected, it's stupid and ridiculous, and there shouldn't be a law about that. It's your car. Everyone's like, what if your brakes go out and you wreck into someone? It's like the same thing every time with the brakes. You guys got to come up with something else. You got to come up with something more concrete than your brakes. My brakes are going to go out and I'm going to hit somebody because my car wasn't inspected. The stuff's, it's a bit of a stretch. You're grasping for straws at that point because you know you can't defend it. Registration, inspection. I already bought the car. What's up, bud? Kanga, you guys want to see Kanga? There's Kanga. What up? Kanga, you're my special guest. Right? Kanga's my special guest. I don't need you guys. She doesn't like being held. Our first special guest on Crown of Thoughts, Kanga Gadsden Kemper. It's been wonderful talking to you guys. Crown of Thoughts. I'm Double A, the king of YouTube. Everyone else is just, I don't care. I don't care how many hits you got. I don't care how many fans you've got. I don't care about none of that. I got Kanga and Minor Threat. What you gonna fucking do about that? I don't think that you're gonna do a whole lot about it. And I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna leave. Peace.